All right. That's there. Forget to do. I did realize we were for a while we were doing. As I've been trying to post more on social, especially Instagram, I realized we used to do stories when we were going live.
Yeah.
Like we quit we're going live. Here's what we're talking
Hey,
about this
everybody.
week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, welcome to my stream.
Yeah.
Smash that like button. I wonder if is it better to do before? Because I don't. Yeah, I don't know if it's better to do before the show or after. It's like here's
I
what we're
mean,
talking about. Or here's what we talked about.
yeah, I don't know. We have a big
Both.
audience that hangs on to our every word. So I
Yeah.
imagine they're going live.
Stop everything.
Let's
Drop
do
your
it.
kids. Let's go.
Can
It'd be
you
the-
imagine just carrying babies and you're just like, what?
New dads. That's what I'm about. That's where it'd be. So we'll do it before, which would have all this energy. Then we get to the end. It's like, oh, that didn't go good at all.
No, yeah.
That was a train wreck. Oh, let's hit it up just the same. We are published across the web, and we are ready because we are live. The adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old who are nowhere near asleep.
So we might have the fabled interruption. Haven't had one in ages.
I know it's pending. Like I could just feel their presence upstairs. Like it pop in at any moment.
You can just feel their energy radiating down to the
Yep.
recording studio, to the New Dad recording studio. But on this show, we try to show that just because you became a dad,
Does not mean it's game over.
hey, gaming dads, awesome job in that last week. We had such awesome answers from our gaming
So
dad
good.
question. Like loved it. Like legitimate, like awesome answers for what you are playing. It was a softball to start off this new idea. We're gonna look to start for the next little while, see how it goes. Start every episode with a question out to put gaming dads. We'll include it on Twitter at New Dad Gaming, and probably on all the other socials as well. And you just let us know and answer the question, and we'll read your answers on air. Got some awesome answers. Last week's question was, "What are you playing right now?" It's a bit of a softball for the first one, but awesome answers across the board. We got Tori with, I answered on Facebook, but I'll answer here too. I'm playing Spider-Man 2 and Fortnite OG season. That does seem to be big. It's not something I'm into at all. Jeff, have you dipped into that at all?
No, not yet, but I've heard that the original map has drawn a lot of people back to Fortnite, so
Yeah, you see it streaming on. You see it trending on Twitch. So it seems like it kind of brought it back. So OG Fortnite, good work. Spider-Man 2 as well. Consider me jealous. Another Spider-Man 2 comes from Jordan LaRose. So JLA_15. Spider-Man 2, touching up some achievements on Forza Motorsport and having started Mario Wonder. Good little mix. I did try Forza Motorsport.
yeah.
Couldn't handle it. I just kept
Oh, no.
It just I'm into
going
the
too
other
fast.
Forza 5, I suppose, is so much was just I couldn't handle an actual racing sim, and it just became like a job for me. So I was bounced
okay.
off it a little bit. But it's a beautiful title. It's a gorgeous title. So I think if you could get past it, I think it'd be really rewarding. Okay, so we got Games with Coffee puts out, currently playing the final DLC content for Sonic Frontiers. It's way more difficult than the base game content, and I'm all here for it. I'm also clearing up my PS3 backlog, starting with Jak 3 as part of the Jak and Daxter collection.
Such a good series. And as soon as he said that, I was like, whoa, I have a PS3 backlog that I'm just not going to talk about because when you move on to the next system, that backlog just goes away, right? Like we don't have to finish those games.
It wouldn't follow you to a PS5, would it? Like it's not.
Not unless you do the PS streaming, right? I think it's on the streaming side of things, like their
Okay.
cloud service. So
Gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of. I saw some sad posts about the PS3 this week, just as far as like, I don't know if they stopped supporting it or stopped selling it, or for some reason I saw a lot of PS3s in the news, and it's one of those kind of like pour one out for your homies, like this was. The big black console that could, and the amount of great content on it, which is kind of wild to think that it's just sunsetted. Like those days
Yeah.
are gone.
I mean, mine's still kicking around here. It's dead, like it's gone. But I don't even.
Kicking is a bit of a bit of a
can't-
kind way to say it.
Yeah, you can't kick it either. This thing weighs a ton. I don't even think I think I tried to recycle it and no one would take it. Like the thing is a brick. Like I don't.
Beauty. So we got DJ Ronnie B comes in with main games are Marvel Snap and Cyberpunk. So that hits both gaming dads real nice because
Yeah.
I got into Marvel Snap this week, and Jeff, I think you were into some Cyberpunk recently.
That's right.
Then let's see, Sea of Stars from David Merez at Culadar. So Sea of Stars, that one looks gorgeous.
Yeah, again a throwback. If you like Chrono Trigger and those games of yesteryear, there is a demo for it too. Awesome game,
Oh.
love it, and you will probably want it and buy it and play it or backlog it.
Couple last calls here. Gamer looks at 40, good friend of the show, also embarking on yet another Fallout 4 run.
Yeah,
Because backlog be damned. Shout out to the
That's right.
True Weather mod. Radioactive storms are incredible. Did you know about this one?
I did not, and then I read into it. I'm like, oh my god, there's more stress and anxiety in like a radioactive wasteland.
Make it harder.
Yeah,
And then from Cypher X0, current rotation is God of War solo game, excellent.
yep.
Baldur's Gate 3,
Need to play that one.
yeah, and for mobile it's Marvel Snap. Thank you very much on that one. Super fast time killer, much easier to jump into and out of than Magic. 1000% agree with that. So everyone, thank you so much for so your question this week, gaming dads, if you choose to accept it. Recently, the game of the year announcement was made. The nominees are up. We are looking at Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. So the question is, what is your game of the year, either from that list or just what was your gaming dad game of the year, or what game was snubbed? So those two kind of like coming together. From that, what is your game of the year, or what game do you believe got snubbed? So write us at New Dad Gaming, write into us, newdadgaming.com, or anywhere else on any of the socials, Threads, Instagram, anywhere you can find us. Would love to hear from you. Thank you so much to everybody who wrote in. That was fantastic. Now, special call out to two folks who were on that list with Cypher X0 and DJ Ronnie B, who joined me on stream as I streamed for, like 4 hours.
This okay. When I saw
Okay.
so we both have a joint email for this podcast account, and when I saw like your Twitch stream is done, and it was like a 4-hour count, I had to do a double take. Like, whoa! Did our account get hacked? Because there's no way Trevor was on there for 4 solid hours.
There's no way.
Streaming.
Yeah, I can't even tell you the last time I played a game.
Right.
And like, hand over my heart, honesty, I don't think I've played a game for more than 2 hours at a time for at least a year or two.
Oh, that okay. Yeah.
But
yeah.
it
No,
ju-
I believe it.
Right? But it just, everything just came together. The pizza rolls were hot. There was no school tomorrow. The homework was done. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a throwback where everything kind of aligned, and I was able to do it. Like, it was fantastic. So I started with Marvel Snap. The intention does, anybody who listened last week, the intention was do a stream and find a card battler to get back into. Kind of fell off of them, gaming dad responsibilities, just didn't quite have time. Was a huge fan of Magic the Gathering Arena and Hearthstone, but fell off them a bit and was just curious, is there a game for me within the card battler world? And the surprise winner by far was Marvel Snap.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
It is just, let me put it this way. So one of the greatest things that I saw is that altogether there is like 300 or 400 cards all in.
This seems like a lot to me for someone that doesn't play card battlers, but
There's
then
the key.
Yes.
Because Magic the Gathering has 6,000. So
Why not?
400 seems very manageable. And here's the thing, like, okay, I'm going to come in with my $1,000 and I'm going to buy a deck. No, sir. There is no way to buy cards or packs. You cannot. There's absolutely no way to do it. You have to kind of grind up. I imagine that maybe you can do some experience point thing, but even then, at your absolute peak, there is 400 cards. Like, there's only so much you could ever do. So a lot of it is going to be that a chance that your strategy might actually be good, or a little bit of like fun RNG, and away you go.
Right.
You know, and I think like the thing that I was finding, and I kept mentioning this on stream, was when I was winning, it wasn't so much that I'm some god tier like strategist, and this, I'm just very good at this game. It was more, I played some good cards. I felt like I could play some good cards, and then when I got beaten, it was like, oh yeah, like that. I just got it. I did something dumb. I had bad luck, but it was never, oh, this person bought a deck for 20,000. I was going to get curb stomped on the second turn. There's no
Right.
point. So the way the game works is just incredibly free to play, newbie friendly. The games are super quick, in and out. And you can retreat too. Like there's an actual, you can just leave, and as opposed to losing 2 points, you lose one.
Okay.
So like a very like let's say baby emergency, I gotta get going. You can just like hop out the game. Sure, you're still gonna lose, but you don't lose like your entire credits and go down as much as you would.
Okay. Does it work the other way where like you're playing a game, you're gonna win, and then somebody retreats and they're like, whatever.
Oh, you
and then
you
you're...
still if the other person retreats, you still get. If you were going to, if the other person retreats, you get full points.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you
Gotcha.
don't, yeah, because so you can't be punished for that. Now, what you can bet, which always felt a bit like arrogant on my side. So there's something called snapping, and if you're really confident, you put up extra points that they could take from you, and then
Oh.
if you win, like you get more back. So there's kind of like in blackjack, I know there's some sort of term where you like double it, or if you have a really good hand.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So all I can say, like I bounced off this one initially. It felt not so much shallow, but it just seemed so foreign compared to kind of what I was used to, and like it was a little bit hard to get into. But having spent this time in, and again, thank you for Cypher X Zero and DJ Ronnie B. They coached me a little bit. They're explaining some of the nuances of it, which is amazingly helpful. Thanks so much for joining me. Hey, and find me and Jeff on Twitch at New Dad Gaming Podcast. Subtle plug, subtle plug. But it ended up being a phenomenal game. The second part. So anyways, dads, check it out. If you like card battlers, I highly recommend you spend a good amount of time messing with it until it clicks, because I think it will. Like I think most folks will appreciate it.
Okay.
And then secondly, the thing to mention, what I did get into as a second game was Slay the Spire, and the way I can advocate that it was a great game for myself is that I accidentally spent an hour on it.
Another
Just-
time warp. Okay. That's a
Yeah,
good sign. Yeah.
It has a timer as it's going, and by the end of the stream, it was like, oh god, I spent like a whole hour on this game. It didn't feel like it. So this game had a lot more exposure to via an iPad version. It's amazing. If you're into card battlers and you haven't tried it yet, check it out. It is a tiny studio. They did fantastic work. It is just a blast, and it's one player. It's just you,
Okay. Yeah.
and no collection necessarily either. You're just unlocking things.
So different
So-
experience, but another recommend. So- Oh,
Oh,
see, you came out with 2
1000%.
recommends.
Oh man, well the Marvel Snap is exciting. It's now it is my new Hearthstone. It's my new Magic the Gathering. It's a thing I will put some time into now, as a card battler to see what we can get to. So replacing Magic and Hearthstone and all the rest. So happy, so fantastic.
Nice.
Now moving on, those 2 games did not get nominated for Game of the Year, if you can believe it. The game from 5 years ago, and I
Who would
guess
have thunk?
yeah, who could have imagined? Robbed, I tell you. But they did come out, and you had kind of kind of a funny reaction to this list.
Yeah, so we ran through those top 6 games, and I looked at them. I'm like, I think this is the first year where I have not played more than 2. Like, there's nothing. I looked at them. I'm like, I should have played all these top games, but the only ones I've played are the Nintendo ones with my kids.
And one tiny caveat, one asterisk, is that one of them is Resident Evil 4.
Right? Yeah, that's a
Now
gimme, right?
It's a remake, but you don't. It is like a literal. It's just almost like a reskin, right? As best I understand, it's not like there's new.
Well, they redid like a lot of the environments. It's like the Dead Space remake. So like they redid the environments, but if you've played the story, then there's no major changes there.
Okay.
But so like I think we could say 3 of 6. So I've played half.
Two and a half. Call 2.5. You played two and a half. Not a passing grade.
But the other top 3 are totally games I would play. I just haven't had the time to do it this year. Everything came in late, or there was like a huge time sink. Baldur's Gate 3 is like on the top of my list to play, but like I will be in there for hundreds of hours. So that is like a Witcher 3 commitment for people of the show. Like they know that took me a long time. So I had to like plan out my year for that.
Okay,
But it was just funny looking at it.
Okay, so let me peel back this onion a little bit. There's a lot of layers here for you.
Okay. All right.
So which of these games are you saddest that you didn't get to play when you see these? Because these are all awesome titles. The only one that kind of bounces off for me is probably Alan Wake 2. Just not my jam as far as a game type of experience, but Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man's like stunning, Resident Evil 4. I own 4 copies of that game. Still haven't played a single one.
It's typical of us, right? Like just rebuy everywhere and not complete it.
Maybe this is where I'll play it.
Maybe.
And then Super Mario Wonder, obviously expanded that on the show. Stunning. Tears of the Kingdom did get a chance yet. But when you look at the ones you didn't touch, like what are you saddest that you didn't try?
I think what really hits is the Spider-Man game because I had a lot of fun with Spider-Man and Miles Morales. Those usually come in at like the Christmas time game time as well, so it feels like the season as well to me. So I didn't get a chance to play it. I mean, I still could, but it's just one of those things that like, ow, that's sitting there, and it's just a fun game to play, and I could just, fly around and be fine with it. But yeah, I don't know about you on this, but Spider-Man 2.
The quote unquote like true gamer in me feels like I would love, in the absence of any responsibility, jobs, kids, mental health.
That's the dream, right?
Body,
retirement,
health. I think like Baldur's Gate 3 seems like it'd be such a fantastic thing to just pour yourself into for a couple months and just live in that world. Seems amazing. Spider-Man, I only nominally got to play, I believe it's Miles Morales. I played maybe a couple, like call it like 10 hours of it when I was testing out the PlayStation streaming service.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it's just one of those things, again, like you just get it. You start playing, it's like, this is everything I love about games. It's big, bombastic, fun, arcadey, cool story, collectibles. Everything's right there. So I could see it. If anything, I think it'd probably be Baldur's Gate 3 that I almost miss the most from like what I would play from this list. I do wonder if it's a common thing for our listeners and other gaming dads if they look at these lists now and it's like, wow, what great games I've never touched before.
Right? And this year was full of great games. So it's like, this just adds to the pile of any backlog that's going to go forward. It's like, what are you playing this year? I'm still working on 2023. So
Hearthstone.
Yeah.
God of War.
And we're talking about getting into like Marvel Snap and Slay the Spire, like games of yesteryear already. So
I had that thought the other day, actually. It's like, maybe I should fire up the old PlayStation and give the old God of War another shot. See if I can get past it.
I still can't. Like, that is our namesake. Dad of War, like, that's something that you need to complete.
Yeah, when I find the time. Like I
Yeah,
well, apparently I stream for 4 hours at a time now, so like,
apparently you do. That's possible.
Time to hook it up. I was looking. I did find out that I can stream from. I'll ask you this question. This is now apropos of nothing. They've gone off topic. I found out that you can stream directly from the Xbox. So okay. Xbox Series S, and I think even the previous one, like you can hook up a webcam, keyboard, and everything else, and you could just stream to Twitch directly from it. Is that something that the PlayStation has too?
I believe so. I haven't really looked into it, but I think it was like capable of that. If it isn't, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, with a webcam as well.
You can buy a separate webcam. It's not the VR webcam. It's a different one, but I think you can use either.
Yeah, what was nice is like the one that I use for this show. Like I bought because I work from home. I bought a fairly nice Logitech one, and apparently I just plug it in and it works.
Oh, nice.
So it had me. I was seriously looking at it because I was getting really deep into NHL. I'm like, well, I'm playing this anyways. Why don't I just like stream it and see what's up? But I'm also on the wrong version of that. I'm on NHL 23. Right. NHL 24 is out. That's what everyone's playing. So
well,
yeah,
it's minus a year on anything you see here.
It's not quite nostalgia yet. What can I tell you? All right. Again, so per the Gaming Dad question for this week, what was your game of the year, and what game do you think got snubbed? I don't have any. I think snubbed is nothing really that. comes to my mind. Do you have anything?
I would say for Game of the Year, Final Fantasy 16. I know a lot of people had issues with that though, but just the score and the acting was just off the charts. They were nominated in those categories, which is good to see. But that's the only one that, and Metroid Prime Remaster, like that dropped out of nowhere, and it was amazing, and I was allowed to like experience it because I never was able to. So that was
There
one
we
that
go.
kind of surprised me as well.
Nice. Good pulls. I like it. All right. Moving on out. The good news about all of these games is that you can play it on your Steam Deck.
Right.
And maybe. But which Steam Deck do you have, Jeff? Do you have the cool new Steam Deck, or do you have that old, crusty, garbage Steam Deck from before?
You know, it's amazing how quickly technology evolves and how
Yes.
gaming dads do not. Yeah, I have the old one because apparently, you know, Valve was like, hey, what's up, peeps? We're going to improve the screen like amazingly, and we're going to up the battery, and we're going to do all these other cool things, and we're going to put out a Steam Deck OLED. And to me, I'm like, oh, okay, you know, whatever. I don't need it. And then I
I don't need it. I don't need it.
have you ever done that to yourself where you're like, I don't need it, but then you watch YouTube video reviews and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Like what I'm interested in it. I kind of want to know about it, but why am I doing it? And then at the end, you're kind of semi-convinced. You're like, maybe I do want this.
Maybe it is a good deal. Maybe it is a prudent
Yeah.
decision. So I'll say the reason I have a Facebook page up right now, just Marketplace specifically, is the one thing that, when something like this comes about, one of my first thoughts, being a bit of a discount gamer, is I wonder what the old ones are selling for now. And lo
Yes.
and behold, like, wait, this page, when it first came out, like, this page was just swamped with Steam Decks. And I'm anywhere from people being stupid. It's like, oh, I'll sell you this old version 64 for $1,000. It's like, I bet you will. Like, I bet
That
you
wasn't
would. Like,
me. It wasn't
yeah.
me.
Up until I saw some people getting rid of like a 256 for like 350.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So these things all, so the old, what basically happened is that Valve announced, the best part is like, it's either the Steam Deck or it's like a Steam cleaner. It's the two type of things that
I know.
exist.
You can get both. Gaming dads, clean your house as well.
Yeah, there you go. So, but immediately, like you start to see them pop up online, and the problem, one of the problems too, is anyone who tried to post for those highs immediately had 6 other ones show up for a little bit low. So they're kind of keeping each other in check. Like here we go. So a Valve Steam Deck 256, 350, no
Yeah.
taxes, straight cash. So 350 for a fantastic gaming device.
Yeah, and again, this is where my mind went to because I'm like, how do I fund a new Steam Deck? And could I sell it? But of course, Valve, I think,
Probably not.
anticipated it. And my model, you can't even buy anymore.
Hmm.
So the 64 gig is gone. And then whatever they were charging for that, which is $4.99 Canadian, you now
Hmm.
get the 256 version. I'm like, Valve,
Come on,
I
guys.
mean,
What are you doing here? Why you got to do me like this?
free market. Let's give your early adopters a chance here. But yeah, it was just one of those things where like I looked at it, I don't know, but I'm not gonna sell my Steam Deck unless a co-host of the show wants one. But
Yeah, for a cool 7,000.
Yeah.
A cool 1,000, you'll sell me your old Steam Deck.
1,000 with an SD card full of emulation stuff. But it's something that it was in my brain for a little bit, and I don't think I can actually turn the key on it. It would be amazing to see an OLED screen on some of these games because I do have the old Steam Deck does have a not poor LCD screen. It's just like it's okay. It's like Nintendo Switch level. But
Yeah.
some of those games are really vibrant and it's missing the HDR and stuff. And this one has that. And you're like, I could
It's like, come on.
on the go. That would be amazing. Like people would just gather around when I'm playing out in the park.
Gather around, children.
Look
Let me
at
tell you.
him.
Let me tell you a story of Spider-Man and
Spider-Man in
Starfield.
Fallout 4. Look at him go.
Yeah, it's wild. It feels like that was a very quick release. So obviously, I think some people are going to be a bit upset. But the challenge, like, I do dislike comparison in that way. There's a great book, The Paradox of Choice,
Yeah.
that I had read recently, and it's all about the fact that like if you didn't know this existed, you would just have your first version of the Steam Deck and you'd be just happy as a clam. Look at me go! I got a PC on the go. But now everyone's aware that this newer version exists, and if I had only waited, but there would have been no way for you to except to have said like, I would buy it, but I'm pretty sure they're going to come up with a better version. So I'll just won't buy it and enjoy myself.
Yeah, there's no
So-
way. And I've spent many hours in the Steam Deck since I've purchased it. So I'm not no regrets. No regrets.
It's a side. I'll give you a side. It's like, come on.
Give me a discount, a trade up value, something.
Anything, please.
Well, there's still GameStop. We'll see what they do, but I doubt it's anything. It'll be like
No.
the days when I traded my N64 for pennies on the dollar to try and get the PlayStation. Like they
but-
gave me nothing for that,
$20 and a pack of Pokemon if you're lucky.
basically.
Now, the good news is what will work really well on your old crusty, very slow, dim screen Steam Deck that you have
Wow.
will be Undertale, which is super retro graphics. You don't need OLED
You
to
don't
play
need
Undertale.
those dark blacks of that screen there at all. No.
But the problem is you have to play Undertale because apparently you've been given homework.
Yeah, I have video game homework, and I think it's a gaming dad first. I'm not sure, but my 10-year-old was like, "Hey, I have played Undertale like 6 times. They've gone through the entire game, pacifist run, a genocide run, I guess, where they kill everybody, and then just regular runs." And they're like, "Dad, you really need to play it." And this is one of those games that I did initially play when it came out, and then just kind of dropped. And so now my 10-year-old is on me just saying, no, you should play Undertale tonight. And the usual response from the gaming dad here is like, Daddy had a long day at work and Daddy's kind of tired.
That is very sleepy to have an emotional roller coaster ride. I just can't.
It just can't do it. But this is where the Steam Deck came in and helps a gaming dad out with that timing, because I do have to drive them to like an after school program, and it's just not enough time there for me to drive all the way back home and then come back and get them. So I have an hour in the car just sitting there, and if I look like a goof without doing anything, I bring a Steam Deck and not look like such a goof. So
Go.
I have played Undertale for an hour, and I will continue to do that. That will be my gaming space for this homework I've been assigned by my 10-year-old to try and get through Undertale. And I have to video my reactions at these set parts, and they've written down the
wow.
parts
Get out.
of what I need to react at, because I guess there's something funny, or I could do something funny,
so
or something
intense.
awful. Yeah.
I'd be curious to see what run you do, and like, yeah, if we could get, it's almost like their reaction to your reaction. If we're able to get that on social,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
all right,
right.
here's a game and dad getting to this. Oh, come on.
Apparently I've already made mistakes, and I've eaten stuff in my inventory that I wasn't supposed to. So they're like, you
Good
should have
start.
filmed that, Dad. So I should go back and do that. But yeah, no, I've been given, like, again, homework with instructions and criteria, like the rubrics they've been given in school, like how to meet success criteria. That's basically
Wow.
what I've been given for their Undertale adventure that I've been assigned to do.
God. All right. Well, keep gaming dad posted. It was, yeah. I don't know why I resisted it for so long. I suppose it was really hard to get past the visuals, which I feel ashamed to say, but it just seemed like it was going to be, call it like overly indie.
Yeah, I thought it would almost be like a Flash game, to be honest. Like, just the way things were rotating around. But yeah, no, I get you. Like,
No, like overly indie, or just not like, I don't want to say full of itself. Like that's not the wrong way to put it, but just there's some indie games that seem to be like really proud of the fact that it's like difficult or small, overwrought with emotion, like overdone in a sense. And it's like, imagine if you had 2 friends, but you had to kill one of them, and it just you know what? So it's this almost, it's like high school drama where it's all playing to big emotions as opposed to like subtle nuances of it
right.
in an interesting kind of fashion. And I just missed the mark so unbelievably, because Undertale was just stunning and fantastic, like a phenomenal game. So really, really sad that I didn't had played it sooner. So I'm super curious to hear your playthrough.
I'm well, when I complete my homework, I will give my write-up and conclusions to our audience, as well as my 10-year-old.
Please do. Keep the gaming dads posted. Hey, any gaming dads that have thoughts on Undertale, reach out to us at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. So that'll wrap it up there for the week. Do report back on your homework, Jeff. I would hate to have to fail you on this semester.
My report card. I got it.
But we'd like to keep two people on the show. Otherwise, we'll be holding auditions. And a great way to get on the show is to answer the Gaming Dad question. So again, on Twitter or at our website, newtogaming.com. What's your game of the year, or what game do you think got snubbed? Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you like the podcast, you can find us on all the major podcasting networks. You can look at iTunes, Google, Spotify, Caster, iHeartRadio, wherever you find your podcast. Just search for New Dad Gaming. If you did like the show, what really helps us out, if you could subscribe so you get the latest episode, get to hear me and Jeff banter wittedly every single week, see what homework Jeff has completed, and really supports the show. Especially what helps is a rating and a comment. That boosts the signal, gets us out to as many gaming dads as possible as we figure out the best meta decks for Marvel Snap. But help a dad out. I badly, sorely need it. Everyone, once again, thank you for listening. And until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old that wants me to play Undertale.
Of all the homework he could give you, it's not calculus.
That's true.
You're doing something right, buddy.
That's right.
Just remember, just because you became a dad
does not mean it's game over.
All right, see you next week.
See ya.